Hello and welcome to the May 12th, 2023 episode of Watching the Tape. There's been a lot of talk lately about how artificial intelligence might someday, somehow, destroy human civilization as we know it. I, for one, am nowhere near being smart enough to even ponder that possibility, but I do have my doubts. When it comes to artificial intelligence, or AI, my exposure has been limited, but I recently started using ChatGPT, which is a natural language AI chatbot. If you find that definition unsatisfactory, I can't blame you, but I promise you that it'll make more sense by the end of this video. ChatGPT came out in November of last year, and I'm generally a late adopter of new technologies unless it's a new business-related software, for example, that can help me be more effective as a financial advisor. Fortunately, we have a team member here at HFG Trust who is always exploring new high-tech tools. And not only that, but he forces some of us more seasoned folks around the office to explore those tools and experiment with them as well. That person is Nick Haberling.
Howdy there.
Nick sat me down and held my hand through the new account setup with ChatGPT a few months ago, but I didn't really start digging into it until the last couple weeks or so. I use the free version. There is a premium version, but let me tell you, the free version has plenty of functionality. Here is the ChatGPT website. The web address is chat.openai.com. Let me point out one thing on this page before we move on. In the limitations column, you'll notice at the bottom, it says limited knowledge of world and events after 2021. So you may not want to ask it about current events. All right, let's launch into some examples. As I mentioned in a previous video, we have a tradition in the Smith household in which a leprechaun visits the house in the middle of the night every St. Patrick's Day and delivers candy and goodies to the kids. So I have an 8-year-old daughter who's very curious about these matters and is in the habit of writing letters to the leprechaun and the Tooth Fairy and the Easter Bunny and Santa Claus. And so for St. Patrick's Day, or I guess on St. Patrick's Day Eve, I took the letter and I wrote back answering some of the questions in a rhyming manner. So it was a poem. What I should have done is I should have enlisted the help of ChatGPT to write that poem for the leprechaun. And so that's what we're going to do here. I'm going to enter that request in the box here at the bottom and see what comes out. So I sped up the video a little bit while I was typing. I do not type that fast. So let's read the prompt or request. Every year on St. Patrick's Day, a leprechaun comes to our house and delivers candy and toys to the children while they're sleeping in exchange for the potatoes that are left in the children's shoes by the front door. Write a rhyming poem from the leprechaun to my 8-year-old daughter who is very curious to know where the leprechaun lives and where he gets the toys and candy. All right, let's press enter. So there you go. This is the poem that ChatGPT produced, and I'm reading it for the first time. This is the first time I entered that prompt, so we're seeing this together. I think it was 4 lines of each times about 15, so 60 lines. And if we go up here, let's see what kind of questions this leprechaun may have answered. Here we go. Dear little one, so full of cheer, your questions sparked both hope and fear. Curiosity dances in your eyes, wondering where this leprechaun resides. I'll share a secret just for you, a tale of magic, both old and true. The leprechaun's home is quite a sight, a hidden realm of pure delight. And it goes on to explain that he probably lives near the base of a rainbow. Let's see, there's a little bit here on how he finds the shoes, and a little bit about his workshop, I think, where these toys are probably produced. This is neat. I should have done this and would have saved a lot of time. Let's go on to our second example. I have an 11-year-old son who seems to enjoy math, and he's been participating in math competitions. So in order to better prepare for these math competitions, maybe he could use ChatGPT to give him some age-appropriate problems and work on areas where maybe he thinks he's a little weaker. So one thing I should have mentioned is be as specific as possible with the prompt or the request for ChatGPT, and you'll get an even better answer. So let's enter that now. So here's our prompt. Please generate 3 challenging math problems for a 6th grader who is practicing for a math competition. He struggles with division, so he needs more practice there. Here we go. All right, here are 3 problems. The first one is the local animal shelter has 152 cats that need to be divided into equal groups. Each group must have at least 8 cats. What is the largest number of equal groups that can be formed? I would say that's an age-appropriate, great problem. So let's say he does those and he wants to know what the answers are. So again, you're having a conversation with this AI chatbot. Please answer the problems above. Solve. All right. Here we go. And here we go. We've got the solutions and explanations to boot. Let's go to a third example. I have a 13-year-old son who's a baseball player, and I think it would be helpful for him to modify his approach in the batter's box based upon the count, meaning how many balls and strikes there are at any particular moment in that at-bat. So let me enter that question here. Okay, here is the request. Explain to a 13-year-old baseball player how he should adjust his batting approach based upon the balls and strikes count. He is a good hitter, but has a tendency to watch third strikes without swinging. Here we go. And here is the output. This is great. It walks through the different counts and highlights in whose favor each count might be and how you should defend the plate. If you have 2 strikes or if you have no strikes, you can be a little more selective. This is great. So there you have 3 examples of how to use ChatGPT. Maybe it'll trigger some ideas on how you can use it to improve productivity and just generally make your life easier. The examples I highlighted were all personal use cases. There are business uses for this tool, of course, and I plan to explore those a little bit more going forward. I'd encourage you to set up an account and experiment with it yourselves. Have some fun with it. I can almost guarantee you that before long, you will have a wow moment when it hits you just how powerful this tool can be. That's it for this week. Thanks for watching. We'll see you in 2 weeks.